Hey, it's Karl. So we're kind of approaching, the halfway point of the iPhone refresh cycle. It's around 6 months in, so I thought I would just do an updated what's on my iPhone, just to check out a couple new apps, what I'm rocking on my device, so you guys can kind of download the same if you see any that kind of catch your attention. So obviously in my home screen first, I guess like my lock screen will kind of go through. I've just got a picture of my dog, Link, super cute. I am screen recording right now for this vid. So swiping up to the, main screen, I'm actually just using the stock Apple iOS wallpaper just to match the titanium, obviously, of my phone. It's just the raw titanium. I think it actually goes really nice with my custom icon pack, which I have for my homepage. Once again, I try to keep things super minimal. I've had this icon pack for a couple of years now. I haven't updated it, but it works with the apps that I have on my home screen. So obviously things like calendar, things like photos. I'll leave a link where you can grab it. They're both in orange, white, as well as a blackout icon pack option. And with, I think, like 2 or 3 iOSs ago, you could change the icon theme. So that's kind of nice. You can see on the home screen, just got the basics. I've just got like photos, reminders, things like clock. My main app that I use for my emails, like for this channel, it's all just honestly within Outlook. Like, I'm a big Outlook user. Other than the main social apps that I use, like Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, X, TikTok, I use my Outlook or my emails probably the most to manage all of the things that happen on this channel. On the bottom row, I've just got the standard camera, Gmail, which is like my personal email, messages or iMessage, and phone. That pretty much rounds up my home screen. Going on to the second screen, this is where I would say I have the majority of like the other apps that I use. So if we take a look at my first folder, for example, social, that's where my main social media apps kind of go. I've got things like Instagram, just took a screenshot, which is fine. We've got X, Snapchat, Sports app. So Apple actually launched a brand new app called Sports, and within it you can check things like your favorite team's sports score. So I'm a big United fan as an example, and I've got them set as one of my favorites. Right now they've got leagues like MLB, MLS, NBA. They'll add more like NFL in the near future. So as an example, I'm a big Prem fan. So yesterday we saw Man City play. Erling Haaland scored his goal. You can see all the betting odds. You can see all the different stats from the game. And if you kind of swipe down to today, we've got Liverpool against Luton, and upcoming, we've got my team, United, coming over on the weekend, and you can see things like betting odds, and I'm sure Apple will implement some sort of like betting option like through Apple Pay in the future. They would be dumb not to, since they would make a lot of money. But that is my social apps. Going on to the second page of that, I've got things like CapCut. So if you've seen any of my social media things, you see that I put like captioning on it. For example, I just made a reel of that sports app. So you can see I've added just the little captioning in. Obviously, since my color is orange, I've got just the little orange highlights on mine. It's really easy as it's all AI generated. I don't have to like individually enter each of the words, and you can still edit them, but I find CapCut to be probably the best caption app to use out there. Moving on to things like finance. So that's obviously like my personal banking account. I would recommend to most people just, if you're investing into the market, something as simple as Wealth Simple. It's super easy to use, intuitive. Time in the market is usually like my best recommendation. I'm like not a financial advisor, but you do what you want with your kind of money. Speaking of sports betting, so until Apple comes out with that in their sports app, I just use FanDuel to just place the occasional bet. Once again, don't be a degenerate, kind of play within your limit. So sometimes I bet like $5-10 on a game. If that's your jam, I'll leave a little link. I think you get like 50 free bucks if you sign up, and I get a little kickback of that as well. So it's like a win-win for both of us. Moving on to the next app, which is something that I use surprisingly a lot. It's just the Find My app. Since I am Team iOS, I've got my AirTags. I've got all my devices kind of listed here. So for example, like my condo keys, my studio keys, I've got one in my golf bag as an example. Moving on over to my main streaming app. So I mentioned like I'm a big Premier League fan. If you're in Canada, Fubo is the app that kind of streams all your games. So I'll be watching that later this afternoon. If you're big into like fantasy sports, so once again, Fantasy Premier League, you can see my scores for this past week. It's a big like double game week. Played my triple captain on Haaland, as I think a lot of people did, and he shat the bed, which happens all the time. Formula One, as an example, their new season is starting soon. I know that some of their cars were just recently on testing. I think Formula One got really popular with like the Drive to Survive series. So this is an app that I check like upcoming races. They also have their own fantasy. I'll be sure to set up a new fantasy league if you guys want to join. Once again, I will leave a link for everyone to kind of participate. My main streaming app, I've been watching, what are the shows that I've been watching recently? So on Paramount Plus, I've been honestly really big into the new Halo series. So there's Halo Season 2, like I'm a big fan. Halo is one of those games that I grew up playing as a kid, and now to see it as an actual TV show. I will say the Season 1, you know, Master Chief took his helmet off a lot. It wasn't like the true Master Chief that we knew. It was like a cold-hearted killer just stomping Covenant baddies. It's a show. I get it. Moving on to some finance stuff. So this is a cool app just called Splitwise. You can see that I've just got the free version here, and essentially it's just a way to split any sort of bill with friends. So say you go on like a camping trip, if you're buying different supplies, just kind of tally up what everyone has added, and then it just evenly splits it amongst everyone. There's a pro version if you want, but I found that the free one works perfectly fine. For music, I am a big Spotify person. I just usually play like all my mixed tracks through here. It's just nice to kind of set like a playlist for the day when I drive to the studio. I'm like super into Rufus DeSalle lately, Odessa. I'm a big fan of like house music as an example. Another sports app that I use, which I haven't used recently because it's winter here in Toronto. So the Grint is just a way to track golf scores. I am a terrible golfer, so right now my handicap is a solid 26.4, which shows how absolute trash I am. So it's just like a work in progress. I picked golf up during COVID. Next off, this is actually a good one. A lot of people ask about this. This is Backdrop. It's essentially just free background like wallpapers to choose from. You can also get the pro version. For example, another Honor phone that I just reviewed, I had this as the backdrop on it. Once again, you just hit download and you can set your background. Super simple. Reminders is a stock iOS app that I actually like to use just for to-do lists. It's actually really easy to use. I love that they sync across all devices, not just my phone, but it syncs up to like my MacBook. Next off, Vino. If you are a big wine nut, this is actually a great app where you can just scan the barcode, or I guess the main label of a wine bottle, and it gives you a rating. It gives you the general price. Great if you're eating at a restaurant. Once again, super easy, and if you're a big wine person, not condoning drinking, but if you do on occasion, definitely check it out. Pinterest is an app, surprisingly, has made a bit of a comeback in my life. Because I am planning for the new house, I'll even leave some bits of B-roll right now of the current progress. We just finished spray foam. We're going into drywall, all the interior finishes. This is kind of where I check out some inspiration on what I'm looking my house to look like. I'll share those photos with my architect, and we can kind of go back and forth on what the overall vision is. So super useful app. The next app, once again, an app that I kind of use across different devices. So this is Geekbench. It essentially just tests the power of a device. So when I'm reviewing, say, the S24 Ultra, some of the Android devices, I like to run Geekbench just as a standardized benchmark test to kind of test out the phone, how it performs. And as reference, you can see the score for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. For some reason, it says the model is iPhone 16.2. Moving on, since I am about to travel to MWC, this is probably something that I'll use a lot. It's my Air Canada app. You can see, since I am a frequent flyer, I do collect my airplane points. My one recommendation, if you do fly a lot, just stick to a certain airline or like an alliance, so you can kind of gather, points, and then you can fly for free. You can buy your friends' flights, kind of, etc. The only two games that I have on my phone are, weirdly enough, Candy Crush. Like, I am a weird person that I am somehow addicted to this game. So you can see I am on level, nice to see you again, I haven't logged on in a while, 687 of good old Candy Crush. There is some weird game designer that has just been like, oh, this is what you need to do to hit dopamine levels. I think I might beat this level, actually. Sugar Crush. Stars. Another game that I play when maybe I have a bit more time.
EA Sports. It's in the game.
I swear to God, EA Sports Guy and Candy Crush Dude are the same voice. That sounded like identical. Nick approves. Yeah, FC Mobile, if you have time to play some soccer games. And last but not least, the Creators app. So I did get a new camera. It's like the Sony a7CR. This is just a way to transfer the footage from the camera to like my phone really quickly. It works sometimes. It's not the best app, but since I am a Sony user, it's just something that I use. And that is kind of what is on my iPhone. I will end this recording. If there's any other apps that I kind of missed out on, let me know down below in the comments. I will leave all the apps listed for you to download as well. And yeah, that pretty much wraps up what is on my phone right now. I will catch the rest of you in one of my next vids. Peace.